Hello, welcome back. Okay, we are going to talk about body position and wrist position when you're cutting, all right? So, for the three haircut shapes, you have a different body position for every shape that you're cutting. So, I'm going to show you those positions now for each cut, okay? So, let's say that we're going to cut a triangular shape, all right? If we're cutting a triangular shape, if I can get my comb in here, sometimes the mannequin heads. All right, here we go. So, you guys see my section right here, how this is at an angle? That's right for triangular, okay? Now, here's the body position I don't want you to have. Now, I'm going to move in front of the camera because I want you to see that I'm standing directly in front of this section, okay? I don't want to stand directly in front. See right here and see the half of my comb? I should only be using half of my comb. I'm not using the wide tooth part, okay? So my section is only the width of half of my comb. My comb is not straight. See how I have a diagonal line? My comb is parallel with this diagonal. I'm not straight. See how I missed that corner? So my comb is following that. It's parallel to that section. And my body position, right here at the back of this section, I'm not standing in front of the two of these sections. I'm slightly behind the back of this section, okay? So proper body position for a triangular shape is going to be slightly behind, all right? Let me show you in the back. Okay. Okay, so see how I've got my little V, all right? So let's say I'm cutting this side. I'm gonna move my body to where I'm slightly behind right here in the middle. Let me move over here so you can see that better. Okay. So see, my comb is parallel with the section, and I'm going to stand right here. My body position is straight to the back, the last part of this. Now, if I'm going to do this side, I'm going to move over here. I'm going to step over here. And now, see, on this part, I'm slightly behind. So see how it's almost like I'm pulling these over just a little bit because my comb is following those sections. And the back of the section, here's the back of the section, is right in the middle, okay? So I'm standing right here, and on this side, I'm standing right here, okay? So that's triangular body position. Let's move on to round. So when it comes to round, I want you to imagine at the apex of her head, a circle. And then it's like a target. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Each target gets bigger until you have a circle around her head, all right? So imagine a circle. So see how the circle started here and then it just keeps continuing. So when I'm cutting, I'm always going to stand in front of the section because this is a round shape, so I'm going to move around the head, okay? I'm using only this part of my comb. I pull this straight down. I'm standing directly in front of it, but now see my section's moved to over here, standing directly in front of it. Now I move, standing directly in front of it. Now I move, standing directly in front of that because I'm following the round shape around, okay? So see, I did this side. Now I'm standing directly in front of it. Move and follow that circle. My comb is following that imaginary circle around the head. That's body position for round. You're moving around. Body position for triangular is slightly behind the back of the section where it gets higher, okay? Whenever you have triangular sectioning, the point where it gets higher, that's where you're standing behind, okay? So if we're gonna have proper body position for square, the common mistake for square is that you cut off the corners, all right? right here, like around this hairline, okay, this area, it's really weak. And see, it doesn't have a lot of hair that goes over it. It's a weak spot in the hair, and that's where your corners are, and you have to keep them strong. It's really easy with a square to have improper body position of moving around. Square has 3 positions you're in, okay? So you're gonna stand directly behind the head, directly behind. And you wanna make sure you're not cutting off these corners, you're not cutting them in, you're pulling them back to a square, all right? You're gonna stand exactly in the middle. You're not moving around from side to side, exactly in the middle back here, all right? Then you're gonna stand in front right here on this side, and in front right here on this side. That's it. Those are the 3 body positions for square. Okay. When you're cutting and you're cutting a 1 length, it's really important to get a saddle stool, okay? I love this saddle stool because you can see that I've got proper body position, a good posture with this. Now, if you don't get a saddle stool, you're gonna get a stool and you're gonna be sitting like this, okay? Because this stool enables me to have proper posture. When cutting the perimeter, you wanna make sure that you are eye level with what you're cutting. They may have taught you in school to cut inside the comb. I don't like doing that. I'm not going to teach you to do it that way. I have never had great success. Now, when it comes to cutting, I want to make sure that your wrist is not ever like this. No. We always want to keep our wrist in as much of a neutral position as possible. We don't want it to be flipped up too much. We don't want it to be bent down. This bend down is what I see most, and it's the worst. You will get carpal tunnel if you cut like this, and you will ruin your career. It will be really hard. So we want to make sure that our wrist is always in as much of a neutral position as possible. This is how we cut. We cut with only our thumb. And I want to make sure, see, my wrist is not bent, all right? So I would rather have you flip your wrist up than bend your wrist down to cut these 1 lengths, all right? So here we go. Coming down. See how my wrist is being flipped up a little bit, but it's in a pretty neutral position. This is proper wrist posture, all right? That is gonna save you. That wrist right there. So I want you to just practice having proper wrist posture, only using your thumb for cutting. Okay, that's all for this lesson. I'll see you guys on the next one.